Alright, let's try this again. What's up, everybody? Brian with you from TheGameCommon, and we're playing some more Civ 6, continuing with our AI-only championship series, Spring 2020, and so, yeah, we're gonna try these reverse knockout rounds again. So I started this episode, but we had a lot of really weird things going on with our game. Yet another map pack ended up, turning itself back on. I guess it had an update, and so even after I turned the mod off, a lot of strange things were just happening. There was some weird symbols going around. When we popped in the game, we could only see 6 of the 8 civs on the banners up top. In addition to that, like, the AI just was not quite working right. It was just like there was a lot of really weird things happening, so we ended up just resetting it. We ended up completely deleting the mod, so hopefully everything is going to work fine. So anyways, where do we leave off? We've been doing our reverse knockout rounds. We ended up losing 4 more from the last group, and so now we're down to the final group stages of these knockout rounds. Essentially, we're down to the final 16, the Sweet 16. After the next few episodes, when we finish both of these groups, then we're going to be down to the final 12. At that point, we'll merge the 2 groups back into one. So I randomized the groups once again via Google number generator, and we ended up with 2 groups. Group 1 was Japan, Victoria, Pericles, Australia, Norway, Catherine, Brazil, and Rome. Group 2, Scythia, Mapuche, America, Scotland, Ottoman, Aztec, Sweden, Gandhi. Group 2 I think might be slightly stronger with Scythia, Mapuche, America, Ottomans, and Aztecs, and then maybe even Scotland. But I mean, Group 1's been playing pretty good as well. Brazil has been doing really well. Rome's been doing really well. I think we're definitely to that point where there's like no weak civs left. Like, you could argue Victoria and maybe even Norway. Maybe even Pericles. He's probably going to get his butt kicked at some point just because someone's going to declare war on him. But for the most part, there's not like any civs that we're looking at that's like, oh, that's definitely one of the weaker civs. Like, for the most part, these are all pretty top tier civs, or at least they can be top tier civs. Only other difference between now and normal is we ended up bumping the turn timer up to 250. We have less civs, so the game's going to go a little bit quicker. So that's going to be nice. I think everything else is fine. So we're just going to be back in a second when the game loads in. All right, let's see what it looks like. Okay, so we have a Pangaea map, it looks like, with a rather little interesting island off the coast. 2 interesting islands off the coast. Yeah, would definitely love to spawn over here on the left side of it, which it looks like Norway did. We'll see if they end up going and settling those tiles. Australia did not like their starting spot, so they're currently moving north a little bit. Some city-states down south. Brazil is to the east of Australia right now, and it looks like they're going westward, so them and Australia are going to be right on top of each other. England is once again near the tundra, but they have quite a bit of room. Yeah, they have quite a bit of room, and they're actually bordering France. Woo! Hey, we might have an England-France war for the first time. Yeah, I don't think they've ever been in the same group together yet, have they? I don't know, maybe they have. Rome's up north by themselves. They have a lot of room. Well, okay, they're actually kind of trapped. I take that back. They do have a decent amount of room, but a lot of it's desert. And then Japan is directly west of them, but there is a decent amount of water between the two. And then over here, Greece is kind of by themselves as well. But Greece is going to have to, it looks like, deal with potentially Australia and then maybe even Japan. So Greece might be in the worst spot here. Although they could come this way. But, and I mean, there is a lot of tundra there. So I don't think anyone's in a terrible spot. Like, oh, they're definitely going to lose. But there's definitely some substandard starts. Now, Norway, I think, is probably in the best position over here. They're looking pretty strong. France might also be in the best position, or in an equally good position, especially if they come south. If they go west and then south, they're great. Also kind of depends what England's doing, and right now it looks like England's mostly going west and north, so that's going to kind of open things up for France. They're almost completely trapped in here. Yeah, this is kind of a cool mountain range here. It almost, please tell me this is 2 different continents. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful continent spread right there. That's perfect. Because that mountain range then essentially is cutting off the 2 continents. I love it. I love it. And that's Mount Everest. I didn't actually remember that being a wonder in the game. The funny thing is there's not that many tiles that are Everest tiles because of Mexico City. I totally don't remember this being in the game. Yeah. I've like rarely apparently ever seen Mount Everest in this game, I guess. When you see the wonders so little that you actually forget they exist. All right, let's go full speed. Let's see how things end up shaking out. Rome's going to have to take on Antioch. If they end up scissoring Antioch, Rome might just be completely screwed. But we will see how that works out. Japan, This is another very good map for them, mostly because they spawn near the coastline and all of their neighbors are on the coastline. Now, as Australia and Brazil go north, that might change things, or if they go south to them. So Australia and Brazil are at war with each other. It looks like Australia declared an offensive war, so no support there. They're going to have a really hard time taking Salvador, though, because the river crossing. That river is just like... That is a very great river placement. I kind of wish the continent cut off right there on the river placement. The game was almost perfect. We'll see if Australia's smart enough to come to South Tree and get over the river. No, they actually pulled back. But with that one tile here, and then like, okay, so you got the hill tile on the river crossing. So that's going to be +8 to attack over it. And then attacking another Plains Hill with a force, that's a +6. Like, these are going to be ridiculously hard to kill troops on. So it looks like they pulled back. They are currently having a pretty terrible barbarian invasion. Oh, I think they pieced them out because... Yeah, they did. They ended up piecing them out because Pericles came for the offensive. Interesting. So Australia's in a bit of a bad spot here. Bit sketchy to begin with. Who is up here? Who is the city-state? Rapa. They're up there by themselves. Okay. How's England doing? Is England prevailing? Yeah, they got Stonehenge up, so they're going to have one of the religions. Now, since we're on a standard map, that's 5 religions. And no one currently has used the religion yet, probably because Stonehenge just got thrown down. Looks like Japan's also at war with Pericles. So Pericles is at war with both of them. Japan is on the offensive. Even if they take Athens, though, there's no way to hold it. Yeah, they're a little too far away, so that's unfortunate for them. And it looks like maybe Australia pieced out Pericles. No, but Pericles definitely pulled back. He is finally taking care of the barbarians in his territory, though. So he's pulling it back. He's pulling it back. Brazil's about to throw down city number 4. They're looking pretty strong. England's looking pretty okay. France has 4 cities up. They're looking really strong right now. Rome has 4 cities. Their cities definitely don't seem to be as productive. They have, like, no hills. Yeah, Rome's in a bad spot here, I think, long term. Especially since France here is going to be really strong. I think right now, if I had to pick 2 civs that are probably going to end up losing, I would go Pericles and Rome. Which is kind of unfortunate, because I know Rome's very popular, but, man... I mean, it's just the shake. It's the shake of the game. So Japan now is going really heavy into Athens. Don't think they're going to be able to take it just because most of their troops are pretty low HP right now. Also, he does have the hoplites up. If he can get multiple hoplites over here, yeah, there's like no chance. Like, put a hoplite in the city and put a hoplite there, and it's like GG, I think, at that point. Because they're 20... Well, they're what, 25, but then they get +10, or are they 28 +10? They're 25, but they get +10 when they're adjacent. So that would be 35, and plus the river crossing, yeah, GG. GG at that point. Now you can say, well, the Warriors are going to get the +15 or whatever. Yeah, but still with the river crossing and then the hills and everything else, nah. All right, so the second attack wave is doing a little bit better than the first attack wave. They really need this slinger to stay alive, but the fact that they keep popping heavy chariots in the city is going to make it really hard to take that. So I think Greece is going to be okay. Did not mean to click on Australia. They're at 3 cities. It looks like they were about to pop out city 4. No, they weren't. They actually lost Brisbane. They had 4 cities, but Brazil ended up grabbing it. Dang, dude. Dang, Brazil. Defending their title, man. They're saying that, hey, guess what? That first AI-only series that we won, that was not a mistake. We deserve to be on this main stage. And, man, they're doing a good job. I'm impressed. I'm really legit impressed. All right, first era, we got golden ages by everyone except Japan, Pericles, and Brazil. Well, that's very unfortunate for Brazil, but they are holding on to Brisbane right now. The amount of archers that Australia is popping out, I think, is going to make things a little more safe for them. Yeah, there goes Brisbane because she just moved Amani. Why? Do not move Amani. You can hold on to the city. Yeah, but these archers are going to pretty much stop the invasion, I think, where it is. Japan has gotten knocked back. They also have a bunch of barbarians they're dealing with, too. You know, I said Pericles is in a bad spot, but Japan might be in an equally bad spot, especially if they start losing territory over here to the barbarians. Now, what if Japan and Pericles get eliminated? Japan's one of those civs, kind of like Russia, where they deserve to win one of these AI-only series. They have one of the best bonuses. They're one of the best AIs in the game. They, at some point, should win an AI-only series. It's just a matter of time, I think. Rome is doing okay for what they got, but like when you compare like Rome to France, it's just kind of crazy. Like not even close. England's starting to go westward, or eastward rather. They don't really have much room westward unless they start taking out some city-states. Brazil's looking really good here. They got the 5 cities. At some point, they're going to have to deal with England, but if they're friendly with England, if they could get an alliance with England, that would probably be beneficial for both of them, because then Brazil would be able to focus on Australia, and England would be able to focus on France, and they both should have enough room that they wouldn't end up losing. Sorry, I have not been feeling well the last couple days, so I'm a little tired. I probably overslept to an extent. I don't know. I feel like I've had like a low-grade fever, and I've just been completely exhausted. I don't think it's the Rona. I don't know. Probably not. If it is the Rona, it's definitely like light symptoms. All right, Barbarians are currently working on Tokyo now, and they will burn Tokyo, and that is just a butt ton of Barbarians. The funny thing is, Pericles has actually come to the support of Japan and the Barbarians, but oh my god, what the hell? This is like almost screenshot worthy. Like, what the heck? Like, how much? I want to see the army count for the Barbarians here. They legitimately might burn down everything. Tokyo's gonna fall. Japan is just getting completely crapped on right now. Athens luckily has got that defensive barricade, so they should still be okay. Unfortunately, Japan did not get that same barricade, so they ended up, losing Tokyo. And now Kyoto is under siege. Kyoto can't fall, so they're going to be okay. They'll eventually be able to beat them back, but I think this pretty much puts Japan at the bottom of the pack, and I don't know they're going to be able to come back from this. Wow, that's disappointing. That's really disappointing to get absolutely destroyed by Barbarians. And part of that is he ended up wasting all his troops over there on Greece and then was just never able to come back on it. So Brisbane is still flipping, but it's still pretty slow. Brazil doesn't have a lot of troops left. They're still at war. Australia's pushing towards Brisbane. But they got to worry about Norway here as well. Norway's they're looking a little itchy for war here. They don't have the berserkers yet, but they're looking a little itchy. England, oh, that's actually not even an ocean. That sucks. They spawned on ocean tile, but it's not actually, I think, because aren't they supposed to spawn in coastal tiles? I'm pretty sure they have a, I'm pulling up the picture, but I'm pretty sure that they spawn on coastal tiles. Let's see, England. They have a tier 3 for coast and a tier 5 for coal and iron. Did they spawn near coal or iron? There's coal right there. There's coal right there. Yeah, okay, so they definitely got their coal. I don't know about iron, though. But I love how that technically was a coastal spawn for them. Oi. All right, Antioch has no suzerain yet. Rome is trapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They got pretty much every city they can get up here, except they could put one more over here in the desert. I suppose... I mean, here's the thing. If Japan gets completely crapped on like they are, oh man, Osaka would have fallen. The Barbarians ran out of troops down here. I wonder if they pushed them back because they did enough damage, or if they retreated because the city fell. Not entirely sure. But man, Osaka's right there on the edge. But I was going to say Rome could potentially come over here and take some of this room. Especially if they're just going to get completely crapped on. All right, Pericles is starting to move south. He is now bordering Australia, so he doesn't have a whole lot of room left either, especially with Nagoya right there. If we look at score, Pericles and Japan are the bottom two. The funny thing is, Pericles is actually below Japan, even though Japan ended up losing one city and almost losing a second. Ooh, my gosh, he's got a swordsman incoming too. Now, the swordsman's going to end up hitting the catapult versus going straight for the city. But if that barbarian catapult was still there, man, Osaka might be dead. Osaka. Ahsoka. Oh, Ahsoka. I've been watching Rebels. Not Rebels. Clone Wars. I was like, wait, I know that word. Where's that word from? All right, Norway looking pretty good. Which, by the way, new season of Clone Wars has been amazing. Like, I have to say, I'm like actually excited for Star Wars again, you know, after episode 9 kind of killed my Star Wars. And that's weird because I've been like the hugest Star Wars fan my entire life. But, you know, after episode 9, I was just like, I don't know. Not saying I was done with Star Wars, but it was like, okay, now I don't know. I just don't have any excitement towards Star Wars. But Clone Wars, specifically the last couple episodes, have totally brought it back. It's like, why could we not have gotten writing like this? But anywho, this is not a Star Wars disposition. Star Wars, what's the word where you just go on a long rant about a certain topic? Whatever. Barbarian's still pushing hard toward Athens. And that's really, honestly, the biggest issue here for Greece is they can't really do anything. They got barbarians right there, and they can't even go through here. They have to go all the way around here, so that's going to be a bit of a hard take. And then they have barbarians here, so they can't come settle up there. Yeah, these barbarians are just absolutely clutch right now. And, like, look at where the barbarians ended up. Down here to siege the south side of Japan, up there to siege the north side of Japan, over there to seize the east side of Greece, up there to seize the west side of Greece. Like, they got completely surrounded. It's kind of hilarious how that worked out. But everyone else basically took care of their barbarian issues. Yeah, no one else has any barbarian issues right now. Look at France, dude. My gosh. All right, next era. Everyone got normal ages except Japan, France, and Australia. Japan, I don't think it's going to matter. It might eventually, but here's the thing. As long as Kyoto's size 11, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. I imagine... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so Rome is 9 away from Osaka. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not Kyoto, but Osaka could theoretically flip at some point. If Rome gets a golden age and Japan gets a dark age, maybe. These two cities are going to have to grow, and that's going to be a bit of an issue because of the fact that they're in the deserts. I don't think the bath is really going to make much difference because the bath, does it give extra food? Provides food loss? No. It doesn't give any extra food. If it gave extra food, that might make a difference, but as of now, I don't know it's really going to make that big of a difference. Bandar got defeated. Oh, I wonder who took over Bandar. But if Rome came and settled down here, or even right there, maybe too, that might start flipping. All right, let's go pick me and earn double great points towards great musician, because literally there's no great musician. All right, so who took over Bandar? Oh, hi. Norway, Adelaide, that is Australia, is that not? Pretty sure that is. So Australia is getting completely crapped on. So this would be good news for either Japan or Pericles, because if Australia gets completely knocked out, military emergency. Yep. If it wait, that was a Brazilian emergency. That was against Brisbane, I think. I think it failed though. Yeah, it failed. So if Norway and Brazil end up knocking out Australia, yeah, then only one of Pericles and Japan gets eliminated. So Japan has a chance, guys. And it looks like Australia is just going to get... I mean, here's the thing. It was a defensive war, so their production rate is extraordinarily high. They are losing too much, though, at this point. Geelong, they will grab back. That will flip back. I wonder if they're going to go for Rockhampton or if they'll go for Melbourne. Probably Rockhampton. And Adelaide's also flipping back. Norway, gosh. Man. I don't know if they can hold on to these. Yeah, you could. Yeah, they could hold on to both of these. They might, actually, even without governors. But they could probably then grab Rockhampton, and then they're good to go. And maybe. Brazil's right here, so Brazil's going to be putting a lot of loyalty pressure there. Melbourne would be the one to grab, I think, right now for your Australia. Or, sorry, Norway. England's looking pretty good. England actually took over Zanzibar, so they're right bordering Brazil. Pretty sure they never got... No, there was no friendliness between them. Are they at war? I didn't actually pay attention. No, but they are denounced. So imagine that war's coming soon. France is taking over Jerusalem. I assume they're the ones that took over Bandar? I don't know. Or it was Norway. Maybe it was Norway. Who took over Bandar? Nah, it was Norway. Okay. And then Rome. You know what? Rome might have... just done enough, basically, because they're not going to get crapped on. Yeah, they're going to end up surviving, it looks like, just because they didn't get crapped on by everyone. Geelong is still flipping, and that is with a governor there? Interesting. So they're going to have to move and take one other city. You can see Australia got quite a bit of army out, though. Yeah, those surprise wars against them, or the defensive wars, really helps that production rate. So right now, who's in last? Japan's in last. Pericles is second to last. Australia is holding on barely. Japan still with the 3 cities, man. They're still fighting barbarians too. They hadn't taken out either of these barbarian encampments, which is kind of hilarious. But then again, neither has Greece, although Greece is actually pushing towards it, and it looks like Greece is going to get another city down. So, all right, Greece might be pulling their butts out of the gutter. Who's doing tourism already? I can't read that. France. Oh, dang. France been popping out the wonders? Probably. We should look at religions. We never paid attention to that. So we got England, yeah, Japan, okay, France, Brazil, and Norway. So Japan might be able to dig their way out with the religion. That might be their only hope at this point, is if they get some of the religion game going. If we looked at the religion map mode, they got their work cut out for them. They could easily flip Greece, but then they have to deal with Brazil down here, and then they have England just south of them. So long term, I don't know. Geelong ended up flipping. Norway is just sending ridiculous amounts of missionaries in here, which is kind of hilarious because you're at war and they could just get all pillaged, but you know, whatever. You're fine, Norway. Norway's going to actually make the top 12, man. That's crazy. Like, keep in mind here, we're looking at the top 12, the final group stage. So, you know, we can pretty much guarantee you that Norway, France, and probably even England at this point are going to make it, which is just absolutely psychotic. France wouldn't necessarily surprise me because France has been playing really well recently. But England and Norway in the top 12? That's crazy. Also, since both of them barely snuck into it. Because didn't France barely make it through the group stages? And then Norway had that most epic ending just to actually make it. Because here's the thing. Even if Norway ends up losing Adelaide again, which they probably won't, they have more than enough cities here, especially compared to like Japan, who's still sitting at 3, and Greece is still sitting at 4. They are trying to get number 5 down. They took out one of the barbarian encampments. Round of 5. High fives, everyone. Wait. Round of applause. Round of 5s, everyone. Round of 5s because, you know, we're still social distancing, and so high fives are slightly more acceptable than handshakes and hugs. Not by a lot, though. Not by a lot. I would still advise against that. Probably not even like fist bumps. Probably just, you know, round of applause would be the best idea here. But, you know, you do you. You do you. Brazil's looking pretty strong here. Yeah, I think Brazil's probably also safe at this point, but there is a chance that they get cropped on by England, so I don't necessarily want to call it yet for them. They are at war with Australia and England. England has no troops right now, or at least no troops nearby, and most of their troops are tied up in a ocean that will never reach the sea, unless, of course, they Panama Canal that out, or just put a city in canal, but highly doubt that's going to happen. They are holding on to Brisbane against Australia. I wonder if they declared war on Brazil or if Brazil declared war on them. Most likely Brazil declared war on them. Maybe that pulled in England. I don't know. I can't imagine Brazil would declare war and then England. Like, probably the only way that would have worked would be Brazil declaring war on Australia and then England jumping on Brazil. I don't think they would have declared war on Australia with England having declared on them. That seems unlikely. So Norway basically lost most of their troops. They're now going for Lisbon. Geelong ended up going back. Australia is still pretty weak, though, when it comes to military force, and not entirely sure what Greece is doing over here. All right, well, we got to wrap this episode up here, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, comment, let me know what you think. As always, hit the subscribe button, show the game, comment, share your support. Japan got city number 4 back up. They still have the barbarians they're dealing with, though. But they have crossbows. They do have crossbows. Then again, so do the barbarians. Khmer took a big chunk of HP damage. Well, at least the units did because of the river flooding. I'm wondering Antioch. Yeah, Rome needs to go for Antioch, but we'll see. Later, everyone.